Hi, welcome to TA13. I forgot to bring my mic today, so bear with me in regards with the voice that's over here. So there have been, I've gotten like 3 holidays from my office, and I don't really think so. I have utilized them to the max when it comes to working. Although I did make significant progress, but I think I could have been able to make a little more progress overall. But then again, I feel that's how I would have felt even if I would have done a little more as well. It's a very vicious trap or like a vicious loop that I have with myself. Like no matter how much amount of work I do, it feels I could have done better. Like almost till an extent where I feel feels rest feels guilt. Like if you rest or like if you go out party with your friends or something like that. Sorry. It almost feels like guilt, but I wouldn't say I felt guilty as such, but it's just that I feel I could have worked a little more. But anyways, from tomorrow onwards my office resumes as well, so that's good. I'm thinking by tomorrow onwards, like I'll start going to the gym as well. And yeah, one thing, actually, there are two, three things that I wanted to speak about. Number one is the masks that we put up at times when we are with certain people or like in certain environments overall. And what I mean by masks is basically we try to pretend, we try to become this version of ourselves which we aren't. I think I have spoken about this in one of my previous videos on this channel itself. But yeah, I think I'd like to touch upon that topic once again in regards with how we try to pretend to become a certain personality in front of a certain friend circle or in front of a certain goal or a guy, whatever XYZ that's there, which we aren't, because we want to people please or we want to just get in the good books of that particular person. I feel till a certain extent it's still fine. Like for example, you are having a conversation with your boss and your boss likes a certain thing and you're trying to like show interest into it just because you want your boss to like you, or like you just want to charm your boss. Or at times when you are talking to a girl and you get interested, like say for example, you don't really like Taylor Swift that much, but this girl is like yapping about Taylor Swift in front of you, and you're trying to show some interest such just so that you get into like good books for her as well. Whatever, I feel that's fine. That is something that any and everyone do. What I am talking about at this moment, masking yourself, is basically manipulating your personality on a larger scale overall, just so the other person is not just so the other person doesn't feel any discomfort, or like the other person is feeling comfortable with you. And I feel that is something that I used to do at a very large amount of scale, and not just like with my intimate relationships overall. Like I'd let people steamroll over me and be like, "Yeah, okay, fine, like I don't really want any conflict, or like I don't really want any discomfort, because I was afraid of confrontation, or I was afraid of conflict overall. So I never really used to speak up for either myself, or I'd just like manipulate my personality, because for me that was much more easier than having a 2 minute conversation and standing up for myself. So yeah, when I say mask, that is the mask that I'm talking about, like where you are quite literally uh, masking your whole personality, and you're not showing up as your true self. And mostly this starts coming up from fear of abandonment, like the other person abandoning yourself, or you self abandoning yourself as well. What I mean by self abandonment is basically you manipulating your personality, you trying to please the other person and not standing up for yourself. That is when you start abandoning yourself by yourself, and this is where most of your anxieties and this is where most of your overthinking steps in, because you start feeling unsafe in your own body itself, because you are not standing up for yourself. And then eventually you start having anxious attachments, where whether or not you have a romantic relationship, that is when you go and you get invested in this guy or girl, and the connection that you all make, that connection is then again translated into a safety connection for you. So let's say, for example, tomorrow if this girl is not replying to your text messages or something like that, you become very anxious. This is exactly what used to happen with me. Like, exact scenario. The reason I'm able to like tell you this is also because I've been through this. Like, I've quite literally lived through this, where if my girlfriend wouldn't like reply or text back me, or like even mention a guy's name, I would fucking feel very unsafe, or like I would feel very anxious. So yeah, like the reason I am able to talk about this as well is because all these things that I speak about is something that I've actually been through personally, and by God's grace I have been able to become aware about all these patterns, and I have been able to start working on them. I am a work in progress. I am not someone who has actually just like flipped a switch and I'm not really anxious anymore, or I'm that confident guy. I am a work in progress, but by God's grace, at least I've been able to understand where exactly all these things are going wrong, and how I can see a path through which I can get out of this. So yeah, I feel a lot of us, just to fit in, or like just to please the other person, we do all these things. And I encourage all of you all to at least to start taking at least small steps where you stop doing stuff like that, and you start actually taking uh, action for yourself, start standing up for yourself, instead of just like abandoning yourself in friendships or relationships, let alone at your home as well. Because I do understand at most of the times all these habits start from your home only, where your parents kind of say that they know the best for you, and that is when you start sacrificing your own personality, and you try to become someone who your parents are asking you to be, which you actually don't really want to be. And you eventually become confused at the end of the day, because you don't really know who you are then. I know this became a little deep, but yeah, like it's a very messed up concept overall, where you need to stop, where you need to just like drop the mask and show yourself, expose yourself. And recently I was having a conversation with like a friend of mine. She was in a relationship for quite a long, she was in a relationship I think for 2 years. This guy cheated on her, and eventually the aftermath was this, that this girl wants to like break up with this guy. And she came up to me, she told me that she wants to break up, and the problem that she's facing is that she can't really live without that guy. Meaning, like, whenever she tries to break up and like just get away from this guy, that is when she starts having second thoughts, and she starts feeling unsafe. She has withdrawal. And I feel, so this is very interesting, that when you actually like try to get away from a person as well overall in a relationship, that person quite literally acts like a drug to you. I know it's a very absurd metaphorical connection that I've made, but it makes sense. Like, stay with me on this. So that other person that's there, whomever you have been with, no matter the time, let it be 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 year, 5 year, 10 years, the more time it is, the more addicted you become to that person. And when I say addicted, it's not in the wrong sense, but like you understand the feeling behind it, right? That when I say addicted, it moreover feels like you become more comfortable to that person, of course. So there are two things. One, it is how this other person becomes like a almost like a high for you. And another thing is that how you wanting that other person in your life is kind of selfish, and I'll get to it. First, I'll try to explain you how exactly I mean by it is a high that you get. Basically, when you are with this particular person, you build certain neurological patterns in your own brain. You make certain neural pathways in your brain, quite literal physical pathways, And when you are with someone whom you trust a lot, whom you feel safe with a lot, there is a chemical known as oxytocin that is released. And the more this chemical is relieved, the more you feel safe, the more you feel lively, and the more you are vulnerable overall. You yourself must have noticed, like whenever you are with your significant other, at that time you are a little more free, you are a little more yourself. There is no mask whenever you are with your significant other, and the reason that happens is because you feel safe, and the more you feel safe, the more you show off yourself. And a lot of time what happens with people who've had a lot of childhood trauma is when I connected that connection thing with you, like when you make that connection your safety net, quite literally, what happens with them is they feel that this person that's there, when they are around this person, that is the only point where they can lose this mask. And of course, like uh, when you are 20-24 years old, and you have been holding up that mask for like a very long time, where you're not yourself, and you are just trying to pretend to become someone, and that personality is being changed again and again. uh, at that time it becomes very you feel very relieved when this person is around you, because you are safe and you are dropping that mask. And the reason you become addicted to it is because then you feel relieved, correct? Like, so for example, I had tasted alcohol for the first time when I was in my 11th grade, and I was going through, I think I've spoken about this in my one of my previous videos as well. uh, when I had alcohol for the first time in my 11th grade, I was going through a lot of mental shit at that moment, and I felt so relieved, and I remembered myself, who I was like back in 5th grade or 6th grade, where I didn't really have any masks as such, where I had not, kept a lot of bullshit beliefs in my mind, and I was too free. I was that kid again. I know alcohol, it was not the right way to understand that, to remember that, but it kind of helped me to make. Oh, fuck. I dropped. I booked. Ah, fuck. It broke my whole flow itself. I dropped the whole Red Bull over here. It's all over my t-shirt and my pant as well. Anyways, but the topic was very intriguing, so I'll keep on going. Uh, yeah, so you start assuming that connection as your safety at that moment, and you start feeling that, once you'll have this connection, which is quite literally equivalent to a substance, because when you have alcohol at that moment also, you have a lot of dopamine released, and you feel a little less, uh, basically you drop the mask over there. And that is exactly what happens when you have a connection with a particular person as well, and you drop the mask over there as well. So you start craving that more. You start craving the version of yourself that was there when you are with this person. And the reason you actually miss that person as well is because you miss that particular version of yourself when you are with this person. It is not just the person. That's the selfish angle that's over here, that you kind of miss that person because you miss that version of yourself as well. It is not because that person was so significant to you or something like that. I mean, I know it varies. I know it can be different for different people overall. And if you are in a very fresh breakup at this moment, of course you will just be like, what I'm saying is like full bag of shit, and you actually cared about that person. Totally fine. Watch this video after 3, 4, 6, 7, 1 year after your breakup, and I'm damn sure you'll agree to it. Which is, you actually miss the version of yourself, the way you were when you were with this particular person and not that person. And the good news over here is that you can actually be that person. Just like the way I remembered when I had alcohol for the first time, that this free version, free relieved version that I have, this extroverted version that I have, I just remembered myself. This was not something new that was there in myself. I had that confidence before. It's just that it was deep buried in maybe depression, or like maybe a lot of mental stuff that I was dealing at that moment, maybe a lot of trauma that's there. But then this small glimpse showed me that, this introverted person that's there, that's not me. This extroverted person that's there, that's me. And I actually felt good when I was like that. Of course, when you have a particular substance, you start feeling like that any which ways. But I feel a lot of masks are revealed. Your true self is relieved whenever you have a particular substance, because then your brain is not quite literally in control. That substance fucks up your brain, and the true self that you have, that just comes out at that moment. So yeah, then I tried, when I had alcohol, then I tried reliving the same version of myself that was there without alcohol, and it worked very well, like, because that was actually my true self. Similarly, that's exactly what you can do as well. Like, you don't just necessarily need to have that person in your life in order for you to act a certain way. There is life before that particular person, or before a particular substance as well. I am not particularly just talking about a person, or like a substance. I'm just trying to make you understand how uh, you don't need anything external in order for you to act a certain way. Let it be alcohol, let it be another person, let it be a friendship, let it be your parents as well. I know I'm making a very huge statement over here, but once you understand this, that is when you can actually start believing in yourself, because a lot of this is also connected you reparenting yourself. Like, chances of you watching this video and having trauma is very high, because of course, like, my video won't reach out to people who are already healed. It'll reach out to people who are actually going through a lot of mental stuff at the moment. And chances of you having a very good relationship with your inner child is very less. And this gives the opportunity for you to mend that relationship with your inner child, and actually start speaking to him, actually start taking care of him, and actually start loving him, and give him the love that he might have not received when he was a kid back in the day. You might be saying that your parents didn't really love you very very well, or they weren't really emotionally available when they were actually growing you up. Good. I mean, not good in the sense where it's like good that this happened, but my point over here is, now that you're aware about it, why not you yourself make your inner child feel safe enough? Why not you yourself make your inner child feel loved enough? Because the reason you get so attached to another girl as well, which is not really good for you, is that only because for you at that moment, standards for love is very low, and you get stuck over there thinking that this is the max that you can get when you actually love someone. But that's not the truth. Like, you can do way well if only you start loving yourself, if only you keep yourself at like higher standards. Whew. So yeah, I think that is it for today. This was a very good and a deep topic. There were like a lot of insights that were there from myself as well, and from my friends as well, which helped me connect the dots and speak about this overall. One thing that has really helped me is that when I script for my main YouTube channel, or like when I talk stuff over here, or when I'm just in general talking about life with my friends as well, or I'm just reflecting for myself as well. All these things, they help me create content over here, and they help me get insights about like what things I can be talking about, what pain points that my target audience might be going through, because I am quite literally my own target audience as well. I am just trying to help people who are a one step behind me. That's it. Like, quite literally, I am one step ahead, and I'm just showing you all how you all can come to the version that I am at the moment. So yeah, most of these so before I started creating content, most of these conversations used to happen only with my friends. That's it. Like, and I quite literally used to feel, these conversations can be just aired online because they are pretty insightful and they can help any and everyone who's going through a similar situation in their life as well. So yeah, I used to think about this a lot, but again, I never did it. So yeah, any which ways we are over here. I am glad that you watched this entire video, and I really, really, really hope that it added a lot of value to your life as well. And I really hope that you reflect onto it and actually instill this in your life, where if you're trying to like move on from a particular substance, or maybe if you're trying to move on from someone overall in your past, it really helps you. Grateful that you actually watched the whole video, and yeah, thanks a lot. See you.